I think we're recording. Yes. Okay. So this is the week 4 discussion critique for Thursday. We're looking at Lakendra first because you're here. All right. You got a good start on this. Got pieces and parts in place. When you think about your primary display panel, this panel right here, you want to think of it in terms of hierarchy, right? So your logo would be the star of the show, the big deal, right? The fact that your logo has these ropes that go off into space, I would think you'd want to like tie that into the top edge. You know what I'm saying? If you move it right up so it's hanging off the top edge, I think it'll work quite well. It could be slightly bigger, but this, the gluten-free, all that stuff, this has way too much prominence for what it is. I think that this could be something smaller at the bottom. You've got flavor descriptor, which is good, but probably the next thing. And then if you can find a picture of something that looks like your product. I see you're adding the logo type to the flap, so that's going to come around to the front. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
It makes sense. And what I was thinking about doing with the gold panels, I was thinking about maybe changing that to a purple and white stripe background.
Yeah, you could do that. If you have stripes behind type, it's going to be hard to read. So you could do a very low contrast stripe, but you're just saying like on the side panels and stuff, not the front.
Right.
Yeah, well, you should try that. I think that'll work. I thought that your identity package had some good elements in it. So, oh yeah, I was suggesting you could make a border out of the rope.
Okay.
Do you know how to do that? I found a tutorial on how to build a rope pattern brush, and I shared it with a student. I don't think it was you.
No.
But I'll try to find that again and hold on. Let me see if I can dig it up. There it is. Create a fancy rope. Where did I get this from? It's a pretty good tutorial. It's very simple. Which I'm going to share this with you. Oh wait. All right, I'm going to figure this out later. But I got it open, so I'll make sure and send it to you.
Okay, thanks.
Oh, wait, here we go. See if that works. I just sent it to you in the chat.
Okay.
Don't get too distracted by that. I think you're in good shape. So if that becomes a big deal to do that rope thing, don't bother. But I think even if you have the type really large on top and your icon sort of hanging down from it, I don't think you need the type down here.
Right.
Which kind of breaks up your lockup, but I think it's okay. You know, the way you're doing it could work on the package.
Okay.
And then product shot and your stripes. And you want to have 3 options, so have some fun exploring that.
Okay, thank you.
You made good progress on this, throughout the project. You're welcome to stick around. I'm going to go through everybody else's work, starting with Juanita and Big Easy Cookies. you pulled this together. This monochromatic pattern works pretty well. Your primary display panel is this panel, not this one. So you want to move your logo over there. This shape with the beads is kind of fun. I think you got something good going on there. I'm not thrilled with like having it be white in the background. The cookies in the corner feel like a little much. Like I would maybe highlight one cookie as sort of the product shot to show what it looks like, and skip the corners. But you've got 3 good options. Yeah, see, it feels better when it's filled with a color. You got the Mardi Gras colors. Net weight, descriptor line, you know, the cookie that has everything. Mardi Gras for your mouth. I don't know. You definitely understand this brand. I can tell from the other work. So keep going on this. It's coming together really nicely. Brody, oyster soap. You've struggled sort of getting the brand voice here, and it continues to show through. So net weight, it doesn't have nutrition facts because it's soap. It would have ingredients, however. If you watch the lecture on logos, especially toward the end, there's a lot of technical information that could help you, give you ideas, inspiration, all that. So look for that. If you're on Slack, I think Professor Wood posted some great links for you to look at to get some inspiration. Michaela, this looks good. The pattern on the top, this is a great idea, this sort of monochromatic low contrast pattern. I do like it very much the way you've used it. The one thing I would say is maybe instead of having it on these panels, have it on these panels, because these are going to show more. They lay on top of these other panels. So you might show it off that way in your other versions. So come up with 3 versions. You know, maybe experiment with some gold foil or something. Don't use your logo type here. Use a more, I guess this is like the style of the product. So use something more utilitarian like your net weight. These white boxes are not necessary. I would actually just create a panel that has a light color. Right now you're very, just 2 colors kind of, so you could add another color or a light cream background or something so you don't have to have white boxes around stuff. I guess this is a barcode, but it looks really odd. And the nutritional facts is not quite right. Again, if you look at the lecture on package design toward the end, and look on Slack for those great resources that Professor Wood provided on how to get the nutritional facts and all that. Right, so moving on to Alyssa, Babylon Soap. You've got this textured background, which I think works. You picked that up in your identity package. Your logo, I still have issues. I'm not thrilled with the outline, and you know, you have a stroke on these 2 objects. Thing is, if you work through this color palette, right, this orange is sort of a medium value, and this blue is a light value. If you darken up the blue a bit so that they're both medium value, they would stand out on a white background or a light color background without the stroke. And the black here just jumps out as like the one thing that's black on the page. You want to have a descriptor line as well as the net weight. You've got some of the key elements, so you're working that through. That's good. On the top flap, you still, maybe you could do a different color of this texture background in the cinnamon brown color and see what that looks like. This pattern it's a large pattern, and it seems to be kind of coming out of left field, so I'm not really sure how that works. You use these icons. You had a lot of other things in your logo development from Babylon that were kind of interesting. So also you're placing these, you're not placing these properly in the InDesign template. Hopefully you know exactly how to do that. If you don't, please let me know, and we'll get you straightened out on that, because right now it's all screenshots, looks like. So all right, Justin, Olympic coffee. You've got 3 options, different patterns, different color schemes. I still don't think you've quite captured the brand voice for this. And your logo lockup, like that's your logo type as I saw it earlier. So now here the logo is completely broken apart. This kind of makes me think of BP gas stations. And then this one doesn't have all the necessary information. You probably don't need nutritional facts for coffee. Look at some other coffee packaging. Go to the Die Line and some of those other resources and take a look at traditional, some of the more creative coffee packaging, and see if you can get some more ideas from there. But one of the issues is you're just experimenting with different patterns. You haven't quite sort of figured out what is the look of my brand altogether. Like for instance, if you use this mountain, the mountain icon as a pattern, it's just fairly creative, but I maybe use it more subtly in a lower contrast version. And I'm not sure the green really works for this coffee. I know the yellow is your assigned color, so I think you still need to work through those. All right, Catherine, you made good progress on this. I'm not a fan of your logo, but I think that you've worked past it, and you're making this work. These do have some of those, you paid attention to the lecture and you're following through on some of the elements that we talked about there. This natural organic pure will be covered up by the flap when it comes over. So if you really want that to be seen, you should put it there. Your primary display panel is here, not here. So put move everything that's here over to this panel. And that goes for all 3 of them. So this is an interesting texture. Maybe it could be a little finer, smaller. But overall, you're making really good progress, so looks good. Destiny, Brainiac Coffee, you're trying to establish a pattern. I'm not sure how you're doing this, but it's very irregular and looks very odd. So make sure you understand how to make patterns in Illustrator, and if you don't, let me know. Ditch the coffee cups, they don't work. You've got this divided into a blue and then orange. I'm not really sure how that all is going to play out when it gets assembled, but you're definitely exploring and experimenting. I think this one's probably the best one. You could put this in white and put it down toward the bottom on top of this, or a light color. You would want to put your descriptor line on the front panel. You probably don't need nutritional facts, but overall, you're making good progress. You just need to work out some of the craftsmanship details, and I think that this color scheme actually works the best out of the 3. All right, Kelby, Green Mountain, Maple Candy, too tight to the edge. There's your logo icon. I see that. You've worked through some stuff. I do like this as a pattern element. I just wish it was tighter together, closed up. If you don't know how to do that, let me know. And I guess this is a window. Yeah. So when you want to have a window, what you do is actually place, mask in a picture of the product, and you can put a inner glow of a dark color so that it gets a shadow on there. It kind of looks like a window then. Uh, see, your lockup, your icon, I know I told you to add the blue, but now you don't have enough contrast. So I'm sorry if I've steered you the wrong way, but you needed more contrast. Maybe it looked better white. Because right now it's all sort of blending together. This is your product shot. Yeah, your patterns just need to be sort of tightened up a little bit, I think. But these are three good options. You just have to work through some of the craftsmanship there. So, all right, that's all we got for today. I'll be back tomorrow at noon. Good progress by those who turned it in. If you haven't turned it in yet, get it in. I'll look at everything tomorrow.